YouTube, my name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. I'm going to be discussing the aspects and the effects of the full moon that is happening on the 20th of September. This full moon is happening at 28 degrees of Pisces. The main aspect of this full moon is Mercury at around 23 degrees of Libra, trine Jupiter, who's transiting the sign of Aquarius at 23 degrees of Aquarius. This is the most exact aspect at this lunation. So essentially, this becomes the most important aspect of this lunation. Mercury is going to trine Jupiter altogether 3 times because Mercury is going to go retrograde. So this trine aspect at this full moon is the first pass. The second pass will be when Mercury goes retrograde. And then the last pass will be when Mercury goes forward. So 3 times altogether. This is a very supportive aspect and it's going to bring good news, optimism, generosity. This is a very supportive aspect to have at this lunation, especially since Jupiter is the ruler. Especially since Jupiter is one of the rulers of Pisces. This aspect is going to bring good fortune, optimism, generosity, and perhaps some good news. We've all been wanting some good news we've all been hoping for some good news in some area of our life. Well, this is it. Some people could become overnight celebrities, while others could have a huge financial windfall. This is because Mercury is going to be conjunct a very lucky fixed star. This fixed star is at 24 degrees of Libra. This star is called Spica or Spica. People with this star strong in their chart do tend to gain high places in society. So if you have any planet, point or angle at this fixed star, you're definitely going to have something really special happen in your life. People that have something conjunct Spica have increased psychic awareness. I have my Uranus conjunct Spica exactly conjuncted. So check to see if you have anything at 24 degrees Libra. You might be in for some blessings at this lunation. Venus is currently transiting the sign of Scorpio. She is going to oppose Uranus, who is transiting in the sign of Taurus at 14 degrees of Taurus. This aspect will bring unexpected changes in love relationships or in money. You could suddenly meet someone and start a romantic relationship. But just keep in mind, anything that is started during a Uranus and Venus transit usually starts very quickly but also ends just as suddenly. And if it's a financial windfall like a lottery win or a sudden inheritance, well, good on you. If you enjoy the content of this video, please hit like and subscribe. Also share my videos on your social media or with your friends and family. You just never know who needs to hear this message. You'll be helping them and you'll be helping my channel grow. I really appreciate that. So let's get back to this full moon. Mercury trine Jupiter is incredibly strong at this lunation. It is the most exact aspect. Jupiter is a core ruler of Pisces along with Neptune. We always have to look at the ruler of the lunation to see how this lunation is going to pan out in our lives. So Jupiter is speaking very loudly right now. It's transiting the sign of Aquarius, retrograde motion. And what makes this aspect even more fortunate, if I have to repeat myself, is that Mercury is conjunct Spica, a very lucky fixed star. And Jupiter is also a very lucky planet. It is the planet of luck and abundance after all. So this combination is definitely going to bring something for you to have some type of joy in your life. Gosh, we all need that at this time. Mercury rules communication and your immediate environment. It also rules computers, short distance travel, skills, our siblings and our neighbors. Mercury in the sign of Libra is going to focus on love relationships, specifically marriage and other type of committed relationships or business partnerships. It is also going to talk about law and the justice system. Libra is the sign of balance, so wherever is unbalanced in this area of our lives is going to need some attention. Jupiter is a natural ruler of the 9th house. The ninth house rules over foreign lands, foreigners, religion, and our higher belief system. It also rules over long distance travel, foreign lands, foreigners. The ninth house also rules over our justice system, essentially the court system and our judges. It also rules over education, to name a few things. So this is an excellent time to make negotiations, deal with legal matters. It is also a great time for travel, specifically long distance travel. Well, Mercury is involved, so even short distance travel can be considered here. This energy is pushing us to have important conversations surrounding our agreements, our relationships, our money contracts, and such. People who are going to be affected the most by this lunation are people with points, angles, or planets at 28 degrees of Pisces. So if you have anything 3 degrees before or 3 degrees after 28 degrees Pisces, you're still going to be very affected by this lunation. Or if you have something at this degree in any of the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So the other water signs are going to be affected by a supportive trine aspect. Also, if you have anything at 28 degrees in the earth signs being Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These signs are going to receive a sextile aspect, which is also harmonious and very supportive. So this means that this lunation is definitely going to be supportive. If you were born on the 20th of September, a few days before or after, you're going to be highly affected for a longer period of time. You're going to have this energy in your solar return chart. This is going to be active for a full year. It will be a year of major endings, culminations, realizations. This will definitely be a year to remember. So it doesn't have to be that you were born exactly on the 20th of September. If you were born 3 days before this date or 3 days after this date, this energy is still going to be very active in your solar return. So I suggest that you listen to everything in this video from start to finish, because these are the issues you're going to be dealing with for the whole solar year. Moving on to the 5 things that you need to know. So let's turn over and look at the chart. You're going to see that there's a whole bunch of trines, all wonderful aspects. This full moon is going to be very positive. The sun is at 28 degrees of Virgo, opposite the moon at 20 degrees of Pisces. This opposition of the luminaries is what essentially makes up a full moon. Sun opposite moon. Full moons are a time of energetic release. So if there's something that you need to release and let go in your life, this is the perfect full moon, especially since it's at the end of the sign of Pisces. Pisces is the natural 12th house of the zodiac. This is where things come to end or die. So this is a perfect point of the month for you to set your intentions. Release what no longer serves you. The Pisces full moon is going to bring positive change, excitement, self-awareness, and psychic ability. This full moon has a lot of creative potential and fertility. So if you've been experiencing some type of creative block or some other type of resistance in this area, perhaps this is the time the resistance will dissolve and it will come to an end. The Pisces full moon is at 28 degrees. It is conjunct Mars because it's within like 3 degrees apart. However, Mars is transiting the sign of Libra, so this is a separating aspect. The Pisces full moon is at 28 degrees conjunct Neptune. Neptune is opposing Mars. Mars is currently transiting the sign of Libra, so this is an out of sign aspect, a separating aspect. So essentially this is saying that Neptune is not going to be very active at this lunation, even though it is one of the rulers of this lunation. All eyes are on Jupiter. So look out for some optimism and some good news. Whenever Mercury and Jupiter trine, it always brings about some type of good news. I really hope this aspect will bring good news for all of mankind. Number 2. Full moons are a time of endings, culminations, and realization. They shine a light on whatever needs to end in our life, in whatever area this full moon is happening, according to your natal birth charts. The full moon in Pisces is also known as the harvest moon. Some people will reap the rewards of all the work they did since the Pisces new moon that happened earlier this year around March. Whenever the moon transits the sign of Pisces, it makes us become very sensitive. And even more sensitive because this is a full moon. This is a lunation. So we might be feeling very sensitive and emotional. And some of us might be crying and shedding a pool of tears. Perhaps the crying will bring some release and possibly some type of healing. Or in some other cases, it could bring floods or flooding in your house. When there's a full moon in a water sign, we have to watch out for torrential raining. We have to watch out for torrential rains. Perhaps some type of flooding. So if you live in a basement, make sure you get to high ground if there's a lot of rain. A full moon in Pisces will make some people extra intuitive, and some could become very psychic at this time. So listen to your intuition if you're confused about making any type of decision in your life. Some will get messages in their dreams, and these dreams could be quite vivid. So your ancestors might be speaking directly to you at this lunation. Pay attention. Maybe they have the winning lottery numbers. So as soon as you wake up, if your dream was about numbers, make sure you jot them down and go and play those numbers. Miracles happen when there's a lunation in the sign of Pisces, because this is the area of spirituality, psychic ability, intuition, God, religion, our ancestors. Anything is possible at this full moon. Your dreams could come true. I hate to be the bearer of some negative news when I do my forecasts, but I have to be honest and keep it real. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is the 12th sign. This is where things come to die and end. So unfortunately, some things that you've been holding on to for a very long time are going to come to a natural end at this time. Things end in the sign of Pisces so that they can begin anew in the sign of Aries. So expect endings. And some of these endings could be very unfortunate and traumatic. So expect long-standing issues to conclude at this time. And some of these issues could be in the areas of our hidden enemies, our self-sabotaging habits, and also karmic issues. These karmic issues could be about issues that you've inherited from your ancestors. These could be generational karmic issues. This is an excellent time to let these issues go. Let them dissolve with this. Let them dissolve at this lunation. Number 3, Mercury trining Jupiter is the most powerful influence at this lunation. So if you've been working on a project involving the houses where these two planets are transiting, Mercury and Jupiter, you could perhaps get some really good news at this time. Something that you've been working hard on could come to a very wonderful, successful conclusion. You are going to hear some good news. You are going to hear some good news because of these two planets. So if you're feeling blocked in the areas of communication and travel, you will make some progress there. Anything to do with law, long distance travel will be highlighted at this lunation. It's time to take action. Business dealings and legal matters should go really well. This is the perfect time for entering into negotiations and signing contracts. So go for it. Number 4, Mercury square Pluto. So Pluto is currently transiting Capricorn at around 24 degrees of Capricorn. And squaring Mercury at 24 degrees of Libra, conjunct the lucky star Spica. So this square is a much weaker influence if we compare it to Mercury trine Jupiter. Mercury trine Jupiter wins over here. Mercury square Pluto aspect is going to bring intense interactions with others. There is a possibility of conflict and arguments. Whenever Pluto is involved, you have to watch out for manipulation and coercive actions, which could be done by you or from others. So if you're involved in research or some type of investigation, you could uncover some hidden information. However, we have to remember that Mercury is in retrograde shadow. It went into retrograde shadow at the last lunation, the Virgo new moon. Mercury will turn retrograde several days after this lunation, the Pisces full moon. So the issues that are going to come up now are probably going to be revised when Mercury turns retrograde. And remember, I did tell you that the fortunate aspect of Mercury trine Jupiter is going to happen 3 times. This is the first time. The second time will happen when it goes retrograde. And the last conjunction is going to happen when Mercury turns direct. So whatever happens, don't worry. Things are probably going to work out in your favor. Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra is probably going to bring up issues concerning love and money, particularly love relationships that are committed relationships and marriages or business partnerships. So expect old issues to be dredged up, things that you don't really want to deal with, they're going to resurface, or perhaps it's going to be an old lover, boyfriend, partner that's going to be resurfaced. Whenever Mercury retrogrades, it tends to bring up exes, especially when it retrogrades in a sign that is ruled by the sign of Libra, and we all know that Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus rules over love and money. So those are the issues that are going to be highlighted at this time. Or perhaps an old lawsuit may need to be revised at this time. And perhaps some people will be starting a new lawsuit at this time as well. Number 5. Jupiter is going to be semi-sextile Pluto. This aspect is going to help you transform the intensity of the Mercury square Pluto aspect. This aspect is somehow going to help you use the positive aspect of Mercury trine Jupiter, which will overpower this aspect because it's more exact. Jupiter semi-sextile Pluto, this energy is encouraging us to have important conversations surrounding our agreements and relationships. So if you have something important to say or propose, this is an excellent time for you to do so. And if you've been looking for a new job or a business opportunity, this is an excellent time for you to pursue that because it will give you increased power and influence. This aspect also encourages spiritual and personal growth. Wealth creation and advancement are all possible, so definitely go for it. If you enjoy the content of this discussion, please hit like and subscribe. Also share my videos on your social media or with your friends and family. You just never know who needs to hear this message. You'll be helping them and you'll be helping my channel grow. I truly appreciate that.